My name is Amy Garcés. I have been accepted into the Medical Genomics program. Well, I was born in San Antonio and I grew up in the Hill Country, a town called Bernie. So my professional background is military as well as diagnostics in the laboratory as well as clinical research. So all of those things have taken us to Colorado and to Hawaii, and then we were finally able to make it back to San Antonio. So Texas is our home. It's been a lot of lab work, a lot of wet lab work as well as dry lab work. The dry meaning more so computer-based or documents or getting files together, packets together. So it's been a little bit of a broad spectrum in between the lab and research realm. I was in the Navy Reserves for about 7 years. My husband's and my military experience combined have definitely shaped me to who I am today. The military kind of forces you to adapt to the different environments that you're in, all the obstacles that you face. That includes all the deployments, all the moving we had to do. You learn, you're forced to learn to balance your work life, your military life, as well as your personal life, and then making time for family as well. I would say it's given me a lot of perseverance over time, and it definitely gave me the courage to go after what I want. My first interest, my first peak of curiosity when it came to genomics in general was during my undergrad. I came across a paper about CRISPR, which is a tool to genetically modify different genes. It just really opened my mind to all the possibilities. When I was researching programs for medical genomics or bioinformatics or genomics in general, the programs available at the time, they wanted you to do both online and in-person coursework. And that just wasn't going to work for me. I needed something that was fully online that I could do and that was asynchronous because I'm planning on working full-time while also doing my master's program. So something that required me to go in person wasn't an option for me. St. Mary's checked off all of my boxes. So it was asynchronous, it was flexible. When I talked to the program director, they were saying that if I needed to do my classes at 2 a.m. or at 4 a.m., that would be an option. And as of right now, that's my reality. My coursework will be done at 4 a.m. I've been practicing that schedule now with my twins to see how it is. And so far, it's been a very strict schedule of bedtimes at 8, and I wake up at 4 a.m. to get it done. So yeah, St. Mary's was it for me.